Well, thank you very much for coming here today. So can you just introduce yourself to me, please?
Okay, my name is Mark. I'm 27. Just gone back doing a FETech course in social studies. I was, in terms of the disability aspect, I suppose, although I would have a mild experience of it, I was born with spina bifida and subsequently developed hydrocephalus. So I would have certain issues around that as well, in terms of my being on the BE project.
Okay, so how did you get involved in this project?
It was actually through SBHI. I spoke to the family support worker just as a regular appointment, and I had actually spoken to her about certain interests in volunteering. I had actually applied for a position in the local youth club, and I was talking to her about that. It just so happened that afternoon she got an email about this VE project, and I was actually out of work at the time anyway. So it immediately was very, very interesting to me, both from the volunteering side of things and then the potential to expand it to an employability point of view.
Okay, and what have you learned about volunteering from this project?
Learned a huge amount in that. In terms of my own, I suppose, perceived ability to actually do the thing in the first place. For me personally, the more kind of social, I suppose, aspect of the whole project in itself would have been the difficulty rather than the travelling that was involved and the language barriers and things like that. So doing the project has definitely given me more confidence in that respect, in dealing with quite a large diversity of different people that are taking part. So I've been able to bring that into volunteering roles where, say, in the youth club, I'd be dealing with a lot of young people from disadvantaged backgrounds, and who would have had much different upbringings to myself, say. So it has, I would say, furthered my knowledge and subsequently furthered my confidence in doing that.
Brilliant. And what skills have you learned from this project, would you say?
In terms of a group work, teamwork situation, I would have learned a lot of things around that. I suppose it's important to note that everybody has their own style of communication. Everyone has their own way of getting things across. Some people are more verbal, and some people are more or better at putting things on paper. So I suppose learning to accept that and learning to have a bit more empathy, a bit more patience around issues such as that.
Okay, and in general, what do you think some of the benefits of volunteering?
Well, I suppose that's a two-part question in terms of a general sense, and for me personally, it's improved my self-confidence in terms of my perceived ability to do the thing in itself, and also working in group work and in team roles where I would be dealing with people who are quite vastly different from myself. So that's certainly what I've got now.
Very good. And what attracted you to this particular project?
A few different things. I say the volunteering side of things was a kind of buzz I was on anyway. So that was interesting. The opportunity to travel and experience the other cultures was hugely interesting to me. And I suppose developing contacts, even in the last couple of weeks, different projects I've been doing with college, etc. I've actually asked people who have been involved with this project of their opinion on the things that I'm working out on outside of the project. So it's been hugely beneficial.
Brilliant. And what would you like to do following on from this project?
I suppose the course I'm doing in college is social care. So ideally, I'd like to get into a social care background in some shape or form. I'm aware that there's quite a lot of study involved in before I can potentially be able to do that competently, which is obviously something that's there as well. But I think continuing the volunteering, I'm actually doing my work placement through SBHI as well. So continuing the volunteering that I would have been involved in as well before this project started.
Yeah, and can you tell me about any of the challenges or barriers you've experienced through this project?
Through this project itself, challenges, again, going back to dealing with different people from different backgrounds, from different cultures. I suppose I would have been brought up to be quite cynical, and it would be very quick. I'd be very quick to not dismiss someone, but to see the negative in something. So it's been a challenge and an enjoyable challenge to maybe push myself on that and to stop and to try and look at things from a different angle.
Very good. And has your disability affected your volunteering?
I wouldn't say so, no.
Okay. And what would you say to others with or without a disability who may be interested in volunteering?
Absolutely go for it. Absolutely go for it. There are people who, even within this project, who I quite ignorantly would have had a perception of in terms of their ability. Having met or having got to know everybody through the three parts of this project, I would encourage everybody, regardless of your perceived ability, to do something.
Brilliant. And what do you think you've learned from visiting these other countries and meeting all these other nationalities?
I think first part project in Prague, immediately before any of the conferences started or anything like that, we hit a lot of accessibility issues. And because I'm not a wheelchair user myself, and accessibility isn't generally an issue I have to encounter on a personal level, I wouldn't have been aware of that side of things. So the accessibility side of things, but just to see how it's so different in each of the three countries. In Finland, for example, things would be far more advanced than they would be in Prague, whereas we would be somewhere in the middle. So it's been really interesting to see how that's played out.
Brilliant. And has this project encouraged you to continue volunteering?
Very much so, yeah.
Brilliant. And how would you promote volunteering to other people? If you had to tell them what to do, what would you say?
Speaking to people, and I suppose it's still a relatively new concept to me myself, but I suppose speaking to other people, a common theme, I suppose, that I get is people's perceived inability to do something, be it in a youth work, be it in a disability assessing, whatever the case may be. But once you actually get into it and you see that you can do it, then the level of confidence and esteem you get from that is huge.
Brilliant. Okay, well, thank you very much for doing the interview today. Very much appreciate it. And you had some very insightful answers there. Okay. So thank you.